Thank you for watching News Echoes. My name is Shegun Johnson. We're about to give you the latest analysis on global issues, and we're going to discuss the Sweden, Finland, Turkey, and NATO. What is going on? We want to get the real facts and where we are, because we all feel the pinch of the war. If whether you like it or not, is a third world war in trading matters. We'll be looking at that, and we'll be looking at what is going on in Nigeria, change of guard at the judicial arm of government. We'll be looking at other issues of insecurity. Nigeria to follow suit like America, where you carry your own gun to defend your own self. I'm so glad you're watching, and we have in the studio all the way from Moscow our colleague Dr. Godwin Ibe. Dr. Godwin, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. Glad to be
And
here.
we're so glad you are always with us because you are up to date on issues. So we'll be asking you a load of questions. Please be prepared. We also have a wonderful doctor from the seat of government in Abuja, Dr. Osita Anyemeka, the proprietor of a diplomacy university in Africa. Dr. Osita, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson. Glad to be here.
Our colleague in Milan, Dr. Godwin, Mark Godwin. Yes, we confer on you doctorate today. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
You are doing a great job in Milan, so you are worthy. We had this news that Sweden and Finland may join NATO, and indeed NATO is meeting somewhere in Spain as we speak. And before now, Turkey has resisted that Sweden and Finland should not join NATO. Now, what are the implications of this to Russian integrity as a sovereign state, especially with the invasion of Ukraine by Russia in the last few months? There are so many sides of the story, and I'm always happy to ask Dr. Godwin to give us the side that he wants to talk about, Dr. Osita to give us probably the other side of the story. Now, be prepared for this. Dr. Ibe, this was not visible in the last 3 weeks that Sweden and Finland will just waltz into NATO, but it appears that's what is going on. Can you tell us why did Turkey change its mind, and what are the implications to Russian sovereignty?
Yes, it's a valid question and a very important one that has global geopolitical and economic consequences. But I want to start first of all by saying that amongst citizens of Eastern, for example, Russian and Western countries, they actually love themselves. They love this cultural exchange. And we can see lots of Russians, for example, that pay money to see Hollywood movies where at the end they are like the bad guys or the guys that need to be defeated in the end, and they enjoy the movies, and they have absolutely no issue with that. They know it's not real, just like going to watch a horror movie because you think that nothing that happens in the horror movie is actually going to come to life. But then we still have the conflict among political elites, which forces the citizens to pick sides and to have this conflict between themselves. But for Putin, concerning the accession, back to the topic of accession or removal of the obstruction to NATO bid for Finland and Sweden, I want to congratulate them as they have a right to decide what they want to do with themselves and their country. For Putin, this accession of Sweden and Finland does not pose a direct threat as long as they do not rearm. That means there's no proliferation of new NATO bases in Finland and Sweden. We understand that they share a common border about 1,300 kilometers. And if there's proliferation of NATO bases, of course, there will be reaction. He has already declared that Russia will respond if armaments are deployed in these two countries. In Putin's view, the United States is, according to him, is to blame, or NATO is to blame for the expansion, which he believes affects strategic balance and threatens global security. It's his opinion. I understand the West will have a different opinion. But looking at Finland itself, Finland is not willing to outsource its security in any case. Finland already meets NATO's defense spending of 2%. In terms of land forces, the country has about 280,000 soldiers, with even thousands of reservists. And the Air Force has the latest F-35s from the West, I think about 64 of them. And just like Russia, they have compulsory military service. So neither Russia nor Finland is lacking military service or military personnel. Now, the problem is the new configuration, which is the Iron Curtain, the creation of the Iron Curtain in terms of geopolitics. I'm not speaking about economy, just the geopolitical aspect. And the anatomy of this Iron Curtain will depend on how well Russia achieves its goals in this special military operation in Ukraine. To what extent? We're already aware that this is both stated by Zelensky himself, that Russia already has occupied 20% of the whole territory of Ukraine. And the area is the size of England. So it doesn't seem like there's any stopping towards this progress, because no matter how bad you say, 20% is 1/5 of the whole country. Now, looking at understanding the geopolitical aspect is impossible without understanding the cultural history of Russia itself. Kiev is the birthplace of Russian Empire. It was called the Kievian Rus from the late 9th century to the middle 13th century. It's like in the Second World War, pigeons were used as messengers. And I used to wonder, how do you use pigeons as messengers? How do they know where to go, the destination? And I realized later that they remember where they were born. They remember where they were born. Forgive my analogy, but Kiev is like the birthplace of the Russian Empire. So there's a lot of...
So does it mean Putin wants to overrun the whole of Ukraine for him to be satisfied?
I do not. What I'm trying to say is that Putin and the whole of Russia, not just Putin, the whole of Russia, most Russians will be always interested in what goes on in Kiev. Will be always interested in the political stance.
But
strategy.
The Soviet Union has been decentralized. It was done, and Ukraine came out of that, and it should be accepted and respected. But I'll come back to you, Dr. Sita. Is there an end to what Putin will want to do to Ukraine? Because the rest of us, we are feeling the pinch of the war, and we just want the war to stop. But it appears that there is no end to this war. Or what does Putin want, and how do we stop this war? Do we give him a saving face? Okay, you have won a fifth of the land of Ukraine. Let's clap for you. Stop it. Let the world continue. Or it's going to be war all the way. Dr. Sita. You have to unmute, Dr. Sita.
Going to end someday. They always come to an end. But what we're asking is, am I on mute or my connectivity?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can
yes.
Hear you.
Okay. I said, just like all the wars of the past, this will come to an end. But what we're asking is, what is going to be the result? How is it going to come to an end? What would have happened at that point? You asked the question, is he ready to crush the entire Ukraine? The man is an ambitious man. And I think if you ask me any day, he is enjoying what's going on, because he has had this kind of inkling for a long time. He's been in Russia and been in power for a long time. So it's possible. My brother just said most of Russia. It's possible too that he doesn't have all the support of the entire Russia. But the truth about it is that he's destroying a part of Europe. If you listen to what the Secretary General said, Stoltenberg. He said he welcomed the signing of the tripartite because he thinks it is good for the individual countries, because he thinks it is good for NATO, because he thinks it is good for Europe. He's saying that out of the conscious knowledge that peace is always better than war, no matter what the reason for war is. So we are looking at Putin. We are asking, in Nigeria here, we are saying, at what point would any country come to Nigeria to do what Putin is doing to Ukraine? I don't see it. Because the issue is not whether we have neighbors, that want to do that kind of thing, but we don't have leaders with the kind of mind, with the state of mind that Putin has. I think it's excessive power thing, and he thinks that he can go all the way. But because I live in Nigeria and in Africa, I still need to understand him more than I do now, because there is nothing he does now that I understand.
Oh, thank you, Doc. Mark in Milan, what is the fear of the West
Can
about
you guys
Russia?
hear me?
Yes, we heard you. We heard you, Dr. Sidan.
We heard you clearly. I'm just asking Mark now. Mark, what is the fear of the West concerning Russia?
Yes, the West is afraid because now it's affecting everybody, not only the West, in fact, it's affecting the globe. Economically, and in all aspects, food-wise, a lot of things are beginning to go haywire. And this is all because this war is going on. Like we've all said, a lot of analysts have said that Ukraine is like the food basket of for Europe. And with this happening, now, in fact, it's affecting the UK also. UK, the West, Italy, France, Germany, everybody is now getting a pinch of this war because there is inflation, there is a rise in products and services, and they will tell you it's because of the war. So we are all bothered, and that's why we see more engagements among the NATO and the G7 team. We are seeing more engagement plans and arrangements, and I think one of the strategy is to also bring Putin to the table. He has promised to come to the next G20 summit. Yes, so maybe there has to be this dialogue, and I mean, let's know what it is. So we are looking towards all these engagements and what will come out of it. And we hope it's a good one. It's not pleasant, like you said, to see people dying. We saw what happened on Monday right there in Kiev. We saw the bombing of the supermarkets and civilians, and but we are helpless. We are helpless. So it's a pathetic situation, and we hope there's a resolution soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I need to ask Dr. Ibe. We are told that Russia could not meet up with the international payment of debts. How far is that correct? Because one said it couldn't, and the other said, "Oh, it's making it up." So, what was the true position, Dr. Ibe?
It's a technical default. Even what do you call it? Bloomberg said it itself. It's clearly a technical default. Let's look at what is a technical default. It's a failure to meet obligation by artificial barriers. Every sanction is a technical default. Every sanction, because you fail to meet an agreed obligation due to some other external reason. So, but Russia has the money. Like Bloomberg says, it's mostly symbolic and means little to Russian. According to Reuters, Russian government added about 9.5 billion to its emergency reserve fund. It made record profit from EU sales, about 20 billion a month. The strength of the rubles has gained over 300% from its lowest value during the conflict. So there's liquid cash. And also Russia has provided alternatives to receiving the money in rubles, for example, by opening an account. Russia attempted to make the transfer, but it was blocked due to the sanctions. So it's once again, it's a technical default. It does very little to affect the lives of Russians, or even the creditors do not think that Russia cannot pay. It's just what it is for now. But the economic implications to the trade balance between Russia and Finland and Sweden is what, if given the time, I would like to talk about, because it means a lot. There was growing trade between these countries, which might be hampered by this new announcement.
Okay, but one quick maybe final question to you on this matter is what will appease Russia right now? What does Putin want right now, so that we see whether the West and Zelensky could give it or not? What will appease Russia?
He has said it from the beginning. 2 words: demilitarization, denazification. Because since 2014, according to United Nations report, over 13,000 peaceful civilians, Russian-speaking civilians, have died in the Donbass, according to United Nations report. Once again, so one of the word on the street in Russia, everyone knows this, that Russia never abandons their own. If you ask any Russian on the street, they will tell you Russians don't abandon their own. When a Russian life is lost, it's very, very painful, and they are ready to do a lot to, even if it's not in agreement with the policy of the world. So
you
it's
said
very simple.
the what will appease them is demilitarization and denazification. Of course, you know denazification is arguable. I mean, what exactly do you define that one?
What exactly?
Yeah, so we can easily argue that one. Dr. Osita, do you agree with that?
If that's what Russia wants, that's what Russia wants. If that's what Putin wants, that's what he wants. But is that what Europe wants? Is that what the rest of the world wants? I don't think so, because the issue now is sovereignty is key. You cannot, because of what you want, destroy other people just to stay, with your choice. But let me actually, say this. At some point in all of this, I pray that reality comes to play, in Moscow, and then people who are people who are not happy with what's going on will stand, stand up and stand at their feet to say to Putin, stop. Because if he doesn't stop, I don't even think he wants to stop himself. If they don't stop him, he'll just go on. And people like him have done that before. Just that they made history, but bad part of history, and in the process, people lost their lives, economies died, and then the world was shaky. We don't like what's going on now, because insecurity is everywhere in the world. You can imagine if terrorism, finds itself in this one now. It will be a disaster in Europe, because even the Muslims are planning to. They're responding.
Thank you very much. Let me just ask one more question on this. Dr. Mark, what's the position of Nigeria concerning Russia invading Ukraine? Does Nigeria have a particular position?
Well, from what we are gathering here, Nigeria is standing on the fence, and they are being, some people will use the word diplomatic, but I think it's not. We should be able to call a spade a spade. Where do we want to stand? Is it because of, I don't know, it's maybe some bilateral things? Nigeria is standing on the fence on both sides. Africa is also not taking the bull by the horn. Africa is standing by the fence, on the fence, and it doesn't sound good, because this way, some people are playing some treacherous game behind. And we know it's good to be diplomatic, it's good to put wisdom in relationship, but at some point we should come out and say things and make our stand known.
Godwin, yes. Why would Nigeria be playing?
Can I say something there, Dr. Shegun?
Yeah.
Yeah. My thoughts are same with yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you quickly.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
You know what I'm saying is that my thoughts are same with yeah, I am speaking already. You can hear me, right?
We can hear you.
Oh boy. Connected.
No,
So go
look at
ahead.
me. I'm nodding my head.
Just
When I
go
nod my
ahead.
head, I'm hearing you.
Because I've been speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking too, but you can't hear me.
We can hear you. You need to improve on the technology of Nigeria.
Yeah. What I'm saying. Yeah.
Go ahead, Dr. Shogun. He can't hear us. Go ahead, Dr. Shogun.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Godwin. Why is Nigeria sitting at the fence?
Because it should sit on the fence. I beg to differ. There's something I have to correct. This conflict is characterized Putin's war, which is actually false. Putin has over 83% approval rating for his actions in Ukraine. So it cannot be Putin's war. It is definitely Russians feeling that their national security interests are threatened. Let me put it this way. And the right thing to do for any country like Turkey is doing, Turkey is a NATO member, but Turkey has refused sanctions and rather is trying to mediate, is to understand the interests of all parties and try to find a resolution, a middle ground, a compromise, some compromise dialogue where everyone can say, yes, we like the result of this deal.
No, I'm interested in Nigeria. What's the position of Nigeria?
Nigeria is neutral, and they should rightly be so.
Why should Nigeria be neutral? It was Russia that helped Nigeria to win the civil war, the Nigerian civil war. It was Russia that supplied all the arms and ammunitions in 1968 to overturn the winning power of Biafra. So why is Nigeria not reciprocating? And it's the same Buhari and the cohorts of the military then that received ammunition indirectly from Egypt. So why is Nigeria sitting on the fence?
Yes, because of the reality on the ground. It is what it is. Let me put it this way. Nigeria has a lot of things that they should be taking advantage of. For example, high oil prices. Nigeria should be increasing their external reserves. Are they doing that? No. Nigeria has tropical climate, should have food security, should not be affected by inflation in grains, wheat, cereals. And Nigeria taking advantage of that, capital NO.
Dr. Ibe, you are not answering my question. Why is Nigeria not reciprocating the things that Russia did for Nigeria in 1968? That's the question.
Because the economical beneficial position for Nigeria is to seek peace, seek a peaceful solution, and at the same time, not throw away their interest that lies in the West and the interest that lies in the East. Both Russia is investing, West is investing in Nigeria. Nigeria should position themselves without causing or aggravating the situation, knowing that Nigeria is not in a position to attack back, to fight back. Nigeria does not have nuclear weapons. Nigeria rightly should be trying to take advantage in a peaceful way of the situation, while at the same time encouraging peace.
Nigeria is a weakling. In short, Nigeria cannot rise up to the occasion, and that will affect relations in future. That is what we are saying.
That's correct.
Is it a secret? Is it a secret? I don't think it's a secret to anyone that Nigeria was not at the last BRICS summit that was held between Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. South Africa. Yes, South Africa is seen by Russia as the giant of Africa, while we see ourselves as the giant of Africa. It's absolutely crazy. You will not be able to convince in Nigeria that they are not the giant of Africa. But yet, for Russians, South Africa is a more reliable and partner and the giant of Africa.
Yes, because Nelson Mandela said so. Mark, you wanted to say something?
Yes, no, I was going to back up what he was saying. Yes, it's a very funny situation in Nigeria, and we put ourselves in this predicament, a situation where we are held to the corner. we should really, like Dr. Ipe said, we should have tapped into this energy problem arising from this war. We should have tapped into the food solution also. So it's funny that we are caught up and helpless, and the presidency can't take a stand. We are either here or there, all because we are helpless too. We rely on this.
Okay, I'm going to. I didn't expect to spend much time on this, but I'm going to ask. Dr. Sita has disappeared again. Dr. Sita, I hope you can still say something, even if your picture is in a state of comatose.
We are talking about Nigeria. We are speaking about Nigeria.
Yes. Go ahead, Dr. Sita. I think it's his network. Yes, it's his network. It's okay.
It's his network.
Yes.
Yeah. Dr. Sita has to be the next president so that he can do something about technology.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Dr. Sita. Of course, the condition of Nigeria is a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah. So you can't hear me, right?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
When we nod our head.
So, yeah. What I'm saying is that what Dr. Johnson is asking is why? Why does Nigeria not want to? And the answer is simple. We all gave the answers here. That Nigeria is a weakling, Nigeria is subservient and whatever. But the issue is, should we be? Should we be? Russia is training our military. If you condemn them, they withdraw that. Russia is providing one or two things here and there. If we talk bad about them and the war, they withdraw all of them. But the issue is, do we really, are we proud to be in this position? Yes, Dr. Tipe said that we only see ourselves as giant of Africa. Russia does not see us as that. So what should we do? Does the man in power or the next person coming understand what to do to change the equation? That's why we're looking for a different kind of president now. Nigeria should be different.
Well, whether Nigeria is the giant of Africa or not is a very big debate. Many people see us as the giant of Africa. I mean, the West, the rest of the world, 1 in every 4 Black is a Nigerian. We look at the factors that determine a regional power before we can come to that conclusion. There are so many factors there. And population is a big one. Size of the country is a big one. The economy is a big one. Military balance is another. So determining the giant of Africa outside of the northern African countries, that is south of Sahara, will be a very big debate. So South Africa even could not hold on for Africa during the pandemic until Nigeria said we're going to do something about it. You remember the COVID-19 that generated, the variant that generated from South Africa, and but when Nigeria stepped in, the whole situation turned around because the West could not afford Nigerian trouble. Well, we'll leave that one to another day because in the next few seconds we'll be going on break, and when we return, the Chief Justice of Nigeria has resigned. A new one has come in. We want to look at the implications. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
Welcome to Ciliate Farms. In Ciliate Farms, we actually engage in growing live catfishes at different sizes, from the fingerlings up to the size of maturity. Feel free to explore Ciliate Farms whenever you're in Abuja, as we are located in Kubwa and we sell at affordable prices. Thank you very much.
When I wrote the book, The Final Solution, the Lord gave me some things in the spirit realm to see going to happen here. And that is why you need to get a copy of this book, not because of the purchase, but because of the contents. We've not spent 2 weeks. Now we have seen the problem in Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, Donetsk, Luhansk, and all the other surrounding nations, talk less of the Western countries and the Eastern countries. We want to pray that this stops where it is. Some people are even imagining a third world war. I pray that there'll be no third world war. But we need to know the solution to all of these problems, and they are well packaged in that book, The Final Solution. The amount of money is next to nothing. Go to Amazon and buy this book. Go to the Kindle, go to KDP and buy this book. It's very important. So it is in Amazon and Kindle. And of course you can purchase the paperback, but it's not about the money. It's about the contents to have solution to Ukraine, to Russia, to the West, to the East, and indeed all parts of the world. Do get a copy and let's start operating the solution of God to our time. You're welcome back to News Echo, and we're looking at why did the Chief Justice of Nigeria resign a few days ago, and a new one has been sworn in as the acting Chief Justice. Many have said that he mismanaged that position, and this is coming from the justices working with him. Let me leave this the detail to you, Dr. Sita. What led to the resignation of CJ Muhammadu Tanko? Can we just summarize it for our listeners?
Yes, very quickly. The problem, the suspicion and the problem, they are on the same platform. The issue is that Nigerians have not been known to be in a hurry just to resign. And this man has just 1 year, 6 months to go, 18 months to go. So when that happened, we were all surprised. We were all shocked. But the real underlying issue was that there are things that had happened that we didn't know, but his colleagues in practice, his colleagues in the judiciary have started raising eyebrows about it. And these are very deep issues. I don't even think that that we can get a hang on all of them. But there are things like privatizing the entire judiciary, using it as his personal and private place, taking his children out, taking his family out, taking friends, of the family out of the country on the bill of the judiciary. And remember, judiciary is like the executive, it's like legislature. There are three different platforms of governance in a democracy. So he's supposed to be he's supposed to be one of our leaders, one of our topmost leaders. For him to have gotten that low in corruption, something was wrong. And then we've not seen anything yet, because what they plan to do now is that because he resigned, they will come full blown with everything that he has done that he must be prosecuted for. And then the man who just took over, we're waiting to hear what he's going to do, because having come from private practice before he was appointed, to the judiciary in the 1990s, he was a tough call for him. He used to be a very fantastic lawyer, and everybody's hoping that being in that position now will give him the opportunity to show the country what our CGN have done after he replaced the one that was sacked. So yeah, we are looking at that. It's still very new, very fresh. By yesterday, before the close of business yesterday, there were issues that as from next week, we shall begin to get piecemeal content of what really transpired, because social media has been guessing, and I don't support that. We want to be able to get the real gist so that we know how not to choose the next CGN.
Thank you very much. Dr. Ibe, the Senate has already started probing Muhammadu Tanko, and at the same time, the president has given the Grand Commander of Nigeria as the highest order or award in Nigeria to Tanko. I really don't understand this. 14 Supreme Court justices said he was corrupt in different ways, and yet, so I really don't have understanding. There is confusion. On one hand, GCON. On the other hand, he had to resign for malpractices, even though he said on health issues.
Health grounds.
On health grounds, how do you handle this?
The truth is that a lot of things that goes on in, especially in the judiciary and executive, it's like I would say clown world, and it's going back to our definition of giant of Africa. These are not the things we should see in a country that wants to live with the reputation as the giant of the continent. There has to be some judiciary and executive stability. There's consensus around the world, and as also quoted by the spokesman or the head of the Nigerian Bar Association. He says that Nigerian judiciary and the legal field in as a whole is at an all-time low. Public confidence is at an all-time low, and this is a big problem, because we know that a lot of election matters are usually connected with court cases. You would assume that a fair, competent judge is going to decide on who won if it requires judiciary input. So it's not the best. It's not where we should be. It's far from the best. We don't have the full story, but what we do know is that Tanko himself came in when, due to this suspension of his predecessor, which was was condemned both locally and internationally. He came in after a suspension. He was condemned. I don't know who is right, who is wrong, but there was a public scene that was condemned both locally and internationally. And then we see another public scene from the giant of Africa, where is resigning due to ill health, but the colleagues are saying it's a scandal. There was a protest. The welfare of both Nigerians and the legal body as a whole, the legal field as a whole, wasn't taken care of. I am not an insider. I can't know if these allegations are true or false. But the problem is that there's a public scene once again, which we shouldn't be having if we want to say we conducted a free and fair election, and if we want to hold on to the title of giant of Africa. Yeah, these are not the things we should be seeing on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you. Mark in Milan, the judiciary in Nigeria is at an all-time low. What will you say?
Yes, let's take note that something brought up all this. Prior to the CGN resigning, that's Justice Tanko Mohammed, there was this investigation going on by the upper chamber of the National Assembly that was looking into some issues in the judiciary. One part of it was human rights, legal matters, and some very strange movement like Dr. Sita was trying to say. So something brought this up, and we guess, even though he's saying it is on health ground, the former CGN were probably panicked because they are looking into some very serious issues happening right there at the Apex Court. He has resigned now anyway, and the other man, the other acting CGN has come in place, and we are hoping that inquiry they were doing, the Committee on Judiciary in the Senate, will continue, because that investigation and inquiry will open up a lot of things. Let's take note that this arm of governance is a very crucial arm. So we don't work on probability and guessing and all that. They have to bring facts, and I think there are facts there. Yeah. So they've sworn in the Justice Olukayode Arewola, and even though there are also some scandal again behind him and all issues, but we want to see development in that arm of governance in Nigeria. So
Nigeria is a very, very strange place. They swore in a new acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. Within 24 hours, we have seen so many things negative about this man. Looks like everybody in Nigeria has a skeleton in the cupboard. And because what they are writing about the new ACJN is another thing. We don't have much time. Let's go for other things that we have time for. Ekweremadu, Deputy Senate President for 12 years in Nigeria, is languishing in a British jail with his wife Beatrice in another British jail for trafficking a young man, David Ekpo, for harvesting of his organ. Unfortunately, the organ did not match that of Sonia, the daughter of Ekweremadu, and the young man has said that he's 15 and he is his organ is to be harvested. Please, Dr. Sita, tell us in Nigeria, how did you receive this news?
Strange. Very strange. We have, as a matter of fact, personally, I didn't believe it. Personally, I didn't believe it. I thought it was a social media thing, because he came out publicly just a couple of days before the story started making rounds to say that Southeast will not vote P2P. So I thought, this young boy just started, but the truth is that it was true. This thing has started since last year. And if you look at the story, the way it's unfolding, you just said it. Ekweremadu has been 12 years Deputy Senate President, has served 20 years in the chambers. And then what are you saying? That a Commonwealth country which has laws about human trafficking, Commonwealth country that is the real Commonwealth mother, has a law about human trafficking, and you, a lawyer, and the Deputy Senate President does not have complete knowledge of this law? There are issues about the act in London that says everything that Ekweremadu should know to have stopped him from doing what he did. And he's not saying that he didn't do it. All he's saying now is it's about the young man's age. Well, the truth about it is that the shock is still there, and we are so sorry that a child's life is involved. But hey, this is what the law says in other countries. And if you ask anybody who is outside Nigeria, I say only in Nigeria can somebody know that this thing is wrong and we'll go ahead and do it. But this is the effect now elsewhere. These guys were supposed to have given us good hospitals. And people are saying, I mean, there are some doctors in Lagos that are saying that it will have cost them next to nothing, compared with what I've spent now to give that girl a good life, a new kidney.
Okay, what is this not a prevalent thing among the ruling class in Nigeria? Just go and harvest the poor people's organs and then put it in the old people so that they could still continue ruling.
Culture of impunity. Yes, you just said it. Culture of impunity. We are a people who don't care, and we think we can do anything and get away with it. God is here, it's just happening. We need to be able to play that part. I know him in person, and I'm so sorry this is happening. Yeah, I'm so very sorry. The issue is not, it's just not right. Yeah,
the issue is not right. Dr. Ibe, the House of Representatives released yesterday that they're going to put diplomatic pressure on Britain on this matter. But the way I know the British system is that they will want to go through the court. And it appears that he has a leeway. Is this boy 15 or is he 22, according to the Nigerian immigration system? And also we understand that he's gone to the court to sue the NIMO, Nigerian Institute of something. But what do you say?
There's no court system in this world without that is not under the influence of politics. We've seen it in the case of the financial director of Huawei in Canada. We've seen it with Julius Assange in UK. And now we are seeing it with our Ekweremadu. So let's not pretend or I'll be hypocritical and say there's a court system that is so just and uninfluenced by politics. There's none of such in the world. But the interesting thing I want to note is that for Britain to arrest somebody of that caliber, it's usually serious, and it shows that he was either set up, or it was considered too grave a humanitarian human crime. Let me put it this way.
But before you go on, Dr. Ibe, what exactly was the crime he committed? Because they told us that the kidney does not match and the operation did not continue. So if then, what offense did he commit? I mean,
a lot of offense. Both from a legal aspect, the child is 15 years old, underage. Offense
allegedly. Did you see the picture of that guy?
Well, when you're taking the organ of somebody, things should not be allegedly. You have to confirm. You cannot be taking an organ if things are allegedly. It's not. We shouldn't even be laughing because it's not funny. But you shouldn't do something as serious.
Wait a minute. His passport shows that he's not 15. That's the question I'm raising.
I think the UK are in the best position to know the passport that was received at the custom border checkpoint, and there should be no reason why they would lie about it. There's no logical reason why Britain would lie about age. It's illogical to even contemplate it. So what I'm saying is that for the diplomatic system not to work, it was considered a grave offense, or he was tipped off by another diplomatic channel. So that's exactly what I want to add. And the medical, it also tells a lot about the medical state, once again, about the giant of Africa. It doesn't paint us in a good light. It has become a trend for our leaders to go abroad to get treatment instead of in Nigeria. Also, in terms of manpower, usually you take organ from somebody who is a terminally ill patient who has less probability of survival to give another person who will have a higher probability of survival. If we are doing this in in Nigeria, a promising young child who can become the next president of Nigeria will reduce his chances of survival. He's now 50, his renal system is now 50% efficient. And then
but everywhere, all over the world, they do something that is called organ donation, as opposed to organ harvesting. So I can donate my organ for you without any pressure.
Yes, so, I made a point. First of all, it shouldn't be underage. Number two, it's usually terminally ill patients. It's
no, because I have people here who have donated their organs. They're not terminal at all.
It's anonymized. Even in this case, it's anonymized, or it's a relative who is close, a very close relative who you're making this sacrifice for. But from someone you do not know, it's not anonymized. Someone has high chances of survivability and even could be the next president of Nigeria if all things being equal. Has that chances. We cut short his renal system efficiency for another person without following due process. So I'm saying it's grave. It's a crime, both from allegedly in the UK, and it's grave enough for it not to have been able to be subsided or covered up by the diplomatic channel.
Thank you, Doctor. Mark in Milan, Dr. Ibe just said there could be an opposing force of diplomacy. Is that possible you clarify that one? Was he set up once he has been exposed? I mean, how come?
Yes, we know there are protocols to diplomacy, and mostly when two countries have bilateral agreements. Nigeria has bilateral agreements with the UK. Now, and this issue is not today. You see, what we don't know is this has been going on for years, but the diplomacy world and the security arm too work very discreet. So they don't expose most of the operation. Now they took their time to study every evidence and every angle of accusation and alleged things like we're saying. So and they won't want to step beyond their control, their borderline. So things are really going as they want it, and it's really a serious thing. So this has been ongoing since November of last year. They've been taking this operation. They've been looking at all the angles to it. The story we have from our corner here is the young man was taken to the UK last year, November, and this whole thing didn't work well. So he was now placed under a guardian, and it was in this guardian settlement that whistles began to blow. And so there are some questions to answer. But yesterday, the Speaker of the House made us to know that there are some diplomatic arrangements to make every resources available to Ekweremadu so that he can really defend himself. And he also said the Nigerian embassy in the UK will give all the support. So, but we don't know why they are saying this. These are serious things. Organ trafficking is a very grave offense when a person is found guilty. So let's see how the case goes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
7th of July is the day they're going to court, so we'll be posting for our listeners and viewers. Dr. Sita, you have lived in Zamfara before. The governor of Zamfara said he is supporting his residents to carry guns to defend themselves. And it appears sweet music to any American living in that arena. And some people say, why are we going to carry guns? But Matawale is saying that, look, we have failed as a government. Let everybody defend himself with guns. Tell us more.
We seem to simplify this too much. Just get guns and hit the streets. We're going to kill all of us. We're going to kill ourselves because there's something with power. particularly power, when you have your finger to the trigger. So some of us might not even ask questions. And then the guns might go into the wrong hands again. So let me start now. This is middle part of my input. The issue is not whether they are carrying guns. The issue is that we are looking at, it's a metaphor for frustration. Real metaphor for a state governor knowing the rules of engagement, knowing the rules of the land, knowing that these kids need to go get permits to carry this gun. For him to have come out, must be having sleepless nights, must be dying in silence, because this is something that just started like a play, and now Zamfara becomes a gold mine. Every type of people, the people in Zamfara today are not Nigerians. They are not Nigerians. These are artisanal miners who have been shipped in to do gold. These are people who have been shipped in to sell body parts. So every day, the man wakes up with his family thinking, what's going to be tomorrow? And then the man has gone public. And I know that the law does not allow what he's saying the way he has said it. But maybe he should have started with some kind of alternatives, like state police, for instance. State police would have been faster, just that police also has its own issues. This is me, being personal with my friends. But that is exactly right now. Yeah.
Dr. Ibe, is the government accepting their failure? If the governor of a state can say, let everybody carry gun, just license it, is that a statement of failure of the government?
Who cares? Who cares what the government accepts or not? It's the people in the people are supposed to have the power to remove anybody who is failing in his position. And the opinion of the people are is exactly what matters. And most Nigerians think that security is a failure. If not for insecurity, I would have said the statement shows collective amnesia, because how can you have more guns in a country where there are unknown gunmen? It sounds like irony. More guns when the owners of the guns can be unknown. So you do not have enough surveillance and crime-solving capability to solve crimes related to guns, and you want more guns. But I can understand where he's coming from because of the insecurity. Remember, we also have problem with cultism in universities, even in some secondary schools. We cannot pretend, and we know how it is when they hold a gun, how they feel so powerful, how it's difficult to
want to shoot it, but in America, they tell you that the gun is not the problem, it's the shooter that is the problem. I'm just looking at the time, not that I want to cut you short. Mark, okay, what do you say? Uzodinma says there is nothing like that. Ekweremadu says it's supporting in 30 seconds. What do you say?
Well, Bello Matawale of Zamfara state government, I think he's taking the bull by the horn. This is part of his own measure to tackle insecurity. And he did something also. He said there should be death penalty to bandits, kidnappers, and all these miscreants. So the man is facing the reality. The reality is that our country is not secure. And
I get what you say. I want you in 10 seconds. Tell Nigerians what they should be thinking about the next presidential candidate they want to vote for. You have only 10 seconds.
Well, for presidential candidate, I think we should just remove all biases, all sentiments, and go for the best. Go for the person.
Dr. Ibe, what will you advise Nigerians?
Get your PVC. It is lack of PVC that has allowed many of what we do not want to happen.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Osita, you want to advise the 200 million Nigerians in 10 seconds about their presidential candidate?
210, get your PVC and vote the right candidate. No sentiments.
Thank you for correcting me. 210 million Nigerians. Thank you for watching. We will come your way next Wednesday with the latest that you need to know. I'm so glad Dr. Ibe has joined us. We'll be hearing from Russia, and we hope that he will be chosen as an advisor of Mr. Putin to stop the war. Thank you very much, Mark in Milan. I thank you, my colleagues, Dr. Osita from Abuja, Dr. Godwin Ibe from Moscow, and the crew in Italy beaming us to the rest of the world. We shall definitely come your way next Wednesday. God bless you all.
Thank you.